Hurricanes, earthquakes, forest fires, tornadoes, no matter where you live, natural disasters are just a possibility. Does your family have a to-go bag or a 72-hour pack like this one? If not, you need one, and I'm going to show you how to make it, so stick around and let's do it together. Being prepared will bring you and your family peace of mind. And this video that I'm doing today is part of a self-reliance series, so if being prepared is something that interests you, then please subscribe and stick around because there will be more videos coming up. But getting right into it, the first thing that you need to have is a sturdy backpack, obviously, to put everything in. And keep in mind, if there was an emergency, you might be carrying this, so you do want to make sure it's sturdy, and you want to make sure that it has good padded strap so it's comfortable. Even better if it had like a waist strap, that would be awesome. And it's really great to find a bag that has lots of compartments so that you can easily find things rather than just having to shove everything in the main compartment, because in an emergency you're going to be stressed and you want to be able to find things easily without having to rummage through the whole bag looking for things. Now don't worry, you don't have to remember all of the things that are going to go in this bag, because I created a little free checklist for you that I'm going to link in the description box below. You can click on that and download that so you have a reference when you're shopping for all the materials that you need inside your bag. Okay, let's start with clothing. So it's really important that you have at least one full outfit. This bag is supposed to be for 3 days, so at least one full outfit. If you can fit more, that's great. Let me show you what I have in my bag. All right, so I've got a couple old t-shirts here. So I have those, and I have a pair of jeans. Just an old pair of jeans, nothing fancy. I also have a fleece jacket. Now, obviously, if you lived in a colder climate, we live in Tennessee, so this would probably be fine because our major natural disaster threat would be tornadoes, and that's in the spring. So we would be fine with this, but you may need a heavier coat depending on where you live. Absolutely essential, 3 pairs of socks and 3 pairs of underwear. I'm not showing you those, but you're gonna want those. Socks are especially important because with all these disasters, you are gonna face water and you want your feet to be dry and clean. And then again, depending on your climate, gloves, a hat, maybe like a baseball cap to keep the sun off your face and protect you from the elements. And you don't feel like you have to go out and buy all brand new clothes. You can just look through your closet, shop your closet, see what you have, use some things maybe you don't wear anymore, or they're kind of older, not looking the best, because in an emergency, you just want clean, dry clothes. You don't care how, fancy you look. Absolutely essential is a poncho to keep the water off, rain, anything like that. So this, see how small this is? It fills up so small. You can get these on Amazon or a number of other different websites, which I will link down below. You can also buy them at Walmart, and they're super inexpensive and they fold up nice and small to fit in your bag. An important tip with the clothing items especially, but actually everything in your pack, is you want to put a reminder in your calendar a year from when you created it. So say you created it in March of 2023. Well, you want to put a reminder that goes off next year in March of 2024 so that you can go through your pack and get rid of all outgrown clothes, make sure you're getting rid of expired food and things like that, so your pack is always up to date and you're always ready just in case. The next essential category of items you're going to need in this bag are hygiene items, because you're going to want these things, you guys. Starting with the most important thing, toilet paper. You know this is going to be like gold in an emergency situation, so just stick one of these rolls in there. I like this one from Costco because it's individually wrapped. I don't think they do this anymore though. Anyways, I like that it's individually wrapped. It wouldn't get wet, so you could always stick your toilet paper in a Ziplock bag or something like that. Might be a good idea. Deodorant, also essential. A lot of these items, like my little mini sunscreen, the deodorant, the toothpaste, all these things you can get in the travel section at Walmart, Target, or even your local grocery store. So they don't have to cost you a lot, and you don't need to go out and buy full sizes because you don't want to carry that around. It's going to get heavy. And bonus tip for you, toothpaste. If you go to the dentist every 6 months, what do they give you when you leave? A little free thing of toothpaste and a toothbrush. So stick them in your 72-hour bag and you didn't have to pay a thing. I also have this little mini hairbrush and mirror. So that's going to be something that is going to be valuable if you are a long-haired girl like me. I don't know that you're going to want to look in the mirror, but it's there if you need it. I also have soap and a washcloth or a face cloth, and obviously because you want to be clean. So you could also put body wash in there, that might be better, but I just had this bar of soap and I wasn't using it, so I'm putting it in there. You might not be able to have access to a shower, but if you have bottled water with you, you could use a little bit of it to bathe yourself. Chapstick, kind of essential. I don't know about you, but it drives me crazy when my lips get chapped, and if you're out in the sun or the elements, that is something that you're going to want. Female hygiene products. Imagine if it's that time of the month and you're stuck out in an emergency and you don't have these. That would not be a fun situation. Hand sanitizer. This can be used for so many things, and as we found out in the past couple of years, this is kind of an essential in everyday life anyway. So grab yourself a little bottle of this. I also put in some tissue and a couple of hair ties just to get my hair back and out of the way. So those are just some of the hygiene items that I would recommend. You can put other things in there as well, and you may discover, as you go along, some other great things to stick in there. Did you know that the Department of Homeland Security actually recommends that you have one of these 72-hour packs? I don't know if you knew that, but they recommend one for you and one for each member of your family. And the reason being is that if there was an emergency or a natural disaster, you may not be able to get to the services that you need for a while, or the services might not be available. So think about how much better you're going to feel being all prepared. So if you knew this, give me a like. Okay, let's talk food and cooking, because I don't know about you, but in a disaster or an emergency or even a really stressful situation, food really helps me to feel comforted sometimes. So let me show you some of the things that we put in our pack. Obviously, they all have to be shelf stable, and as you cycle through your pack each year, you're going to want to remove all the expired things and replace them with new things. And this is my kids' favorite part because they get to eat all the food that's about to expire. So things like these tuna packets are great because they provide good protein and they're filling, and you can eat right out of the package. We also have a bunch of instant oatmeal. That's a good thing to have. We have fruit snacks. We also have these Go-Go Squeeze. They're fruits and veggies. You can also get the yogurt ones. Provide a little bit more protein. Speaking of protein, we also have these little protein bars that I've stuck in there. And we have some flavored drink mixes. I don't normally buy this kind of stuff. I'm not really into the flavored drink things because to me, they're just sugar and usually artificial sweetener, but I figured in an emergency, these would taste really good. So we also have some hard candies because we could put chocolate in there, but it tends to get melty and gross when it gets warm. So I just figured these would be a safer bet for an emergency sort of situation. And I know you're wondering, well, Lauren, how are you going to cook the oatmeal? Well, you want to make sure that you have water in your pack, and ideally you want a lot, but most people, if you had to carry this bag, most people couldn't carry it. So just fit as much water as you can physically carry in there. We just have these bottles and stick them in the pockets on the side, and you can plop another one in the main compartment. And obviously you would have to use this to cook with too, so keep that in mind. Your oatmeal is going to need water. We just have one of these little tiny camping it's like a miniature pan. I don't even know what to call it, but you could use a number of things, but this is what we have. And you could just put your oatmeal in there and put the water in there. You could eat it cold if you had to, but we do have this little mini stove burner thingy, and it's called an S-bit. Anyways, I've never actually used this, but again, you can probably buy this on Amazon or a number of other websites, which I will link below. Something I'm realizing I don't see in my pack that I need is a spoon or a fork, some way to eat that oatmeal and even the tuna, because I'm probably not going to want to use my hands. In 2020, we had 2 really bad tornadoes in this area where we live, not necessarily where we are, but kind of surrounding us. And we were able to go help do some of the cleanup with that. And it was a really humbling experience. It was really hard, but it was a really good reminder as to why we have these 3-day packs that we have. So let me know in the comments down below, is this something that you've thought about? Have you thought about making one of these, or do you already have one and just wanted to get some more ideas? Let me know why you're here. Moving on to the first aid part of your pack, these are things that are essential. You need to have these in there. Things like pain relievers, have them right here, pain relievers, Band-Aids, some Neosporin or antibacterial cream, all necessary. You're going to want those things just in case. And you might also want some medical tape or gauze, maybe some tweezers, and a lot of these things you can get at Dollar Tree, so don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money. And also important, medications. If you take any sort of medication on a daily basis, stick 3 of them in a little bottle or a bag and stick them in your pack because you do not want to be without those. One other thing that I think is absolutely necessary is copies of your important documents. So I recognize that we have everything online today, and I'm that way too. I actually don't like dealing with paper a lot, but in an emergency situation, if the power's out or the cell towers are down and you can't access your information, that could be a problem. So make sure you keep copies of things like birth certificates, life insurance, home insurance, things like that, social security cards, all those kind of things. You're going to want copies of those. Some other necessities that you might want to have are things like a flashlight. I also have things like a whistle in case I was to get lost or I couldn't find people. I have some rope and I have a pocket knife. This is a really cheap one, but you know what? It'll work in an emergency. So just some other things to think about. And I have more things on that list that I've linked below, some other ideas and things. So, and obviously you're gonna customize this to what you feel fits your area and your family best. Obviously, we can't control the weather. We don't know what's going to happen, but at least if we have this pack for each member of our family, we'll know that we're prepared and we can feel confident that whatever comes our way, you know, natural disaster wise, we are going to be okay. And so we don't have to sit and worry and stress about it. And so anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments down below if there are other areas of self-reliance that you could do with help with. I read all of the comments and I would be happy to make a video about it. Hope to catch you in my next one. Bye.